It was just one of those mental moments, wasn't it?
Yeah. Good morning. You're walking today?
Yeah, nice little moment. We decided to say to the guides, like, can we just have a couple of hours? So in the morning, they've gone to sort our permits and they came only to meet us at 10:30. So it's nice. It's been a busy few days, and before that was a busy few days. So we're just having a little moment, taking the dogs for a walk because we've felt a bit sorry for them recently. They're only getting out when we stop. So yeah, this is it. But we are going to the Buddha temple here in Bamiyan today, and then we head off to Banyamar, which is a national park. So yeah, it's nice. We parked just around the corner here last night and met this property owner who is spending a lot of time in New Zealand. So he was saying like, come please, we have lots of facilities, like, you know, it's okay for your wife to come. And so I was like, that's nice. Yeah, so we'll see what plays out. The only thing that's like in my back of my mind today as sort of a topic is back in May a group of tourists was shot and killed at the Buddha statues where we're going today. So certainly in the back of my mind. I'm not putting that on Instagram or telling anyone about that, but by the time you're watching this, hopefully we would have survived and enjoyed it. Whatever. So, but yeah. Hello.
What's down?
Good timing. Apple, roadside apple. How many kilos? Did you say like 7 kilos?
Yeah, 7 I think.
7 kilos for 750 Afghani, which is like 60p, somewhere around there. Less than that. Crazy. And actually probably the nicest apple I've ever eaten. On par with a Granny Smith. Also, mental experience this morning. We were stopped at a military checkpoint, and these guys came out and they were asking a load of questions. They were real friendly, and then like the commander came over. And the commander's like, smart guy, really, you can just tell he's got himself under control. He's intelligent. Anyway, they say like, you know, are you enjoying yourself? Is everything safe? We sort of said we didn't go to one place because Marie, we didn't think was going to be able to swim and enjoy it, and I felt a bit guilty going on there. He said, well, you should have come and said something. I would have gone with you and escorted you, and we would have made sure you had a good time and all this kind of stuff. Then he was saying, you know, like, what do you think of the Muslims and this, that, and the other? Have you thought about being one? And I was like, oh, well, here we go. And then he was like, you know, we welcome you with open arms. If you're a British soldier with a gun, we would not welcome you, but if you are a soldier without your gun, we will welcome you with open arms. And I was like, oh, where is this sort of going? Anyway, he then like invited us for chai on the side of the road, on the side of the military checkpoint. They also like gave up the checkpoint and just came and sat down and brought some chai, and we just had the most amazing experience. And I think like we spoke about quite a lot, and we were quite probing with what we asked him. But the personal highlight for me was, and the guy said, we don't need to tell you a message. Go and experience the country yourself, enjoy it, speak to people, immerse yourself in it, and then make your own decisions and tell that message to the world. And I was like, holy moly. And then I said to him, that's an unbelievably confident statement in your country, given how the world sees it as such a violent and volatile place. I actually thought, just thinking about it, that I probably wouldn't have the same confidence in England to say, oh, go and enjoy it. I'd be like, avoid there, that's alright, that's not so good, but that's beautiful. You know, so I think he probably could not have given me a better answer. And I'm continually blown away by how I perceive this country's going to be, and yet how it plays out to be. I said to Marie, I've got another little story to tell, and she picked up the camera quicker than I could finish my apple, so sorry, but basically there's been like a few like moments that you could sort of brush off, but like are worth talking about. And you know, the moment where the Taliban guy on a pickup came fully blue lighting coming through the traffic and then stopped with his sort of hands on the gun, and then looked into Marie, and you know, Salam and come, like, was a fucking intense moment. Being stopped by the Taliban FBI was another like interesting moment. I think another one that was quite an interesting moment and worth talking about, and I've written about it in my journal, was being stopped at a checkpoint, and it was actually touristy, and he spoke a bit of English, and he was quite nice and friendly. But just as we got back in the truck and we're like, right, we're about to go, and it was still quite busy, there's traffic coming either way, there was this God almighty bang, an explosion that went off just behind us in the truck. And for a second I didn't breathe. I don't think my heart actually did anything for a good second. Fortunately a tyre had just blown on a truck behind us, but you know, we're in that neck of the woods where, you know, over the last few years bombs have gone off, suicide and car explosions and stuff, and like to be in a checkpoint, to have a big and everyone sort of like all stagger around and jump and look and work out what's going on, was a moment I will certainly not forget for a while. So crazy. Morning campers, or afternoon or evening or whenever you're watching this. What's the plan? No plan, as per usual. We're off to Kaboul today, the city and province. I didn't realise there was a province of Kaboul, there is. But we sort of want to, I certainly want to go, I'm pretty sure we both want to go to like Kaboul city to just get like soak up the atmosphere, get a bit of a buzz for it. The only thing, I don't think I mentioned it, our guides have fallen out, right? There's a young guy, 22, pretty smart, speaks English, he's like the interpreter, and then you got the old boy, Mr. Zavi, who's like, looks like a bit of an enforcer, and they've fallen out because apparently we should have got some tickets to go and see the Buddhas yesterday. We didn't. Faisal, the young lad, argued with the Taliban quite, I've got it on camera actually, it's quite like, oh, you know, he was basically saying, well, you weren't at your guard post outside, we were just walking, this is ridiculous, how dare you, like. And Mr. Zabi was like, you don't argue with these guys, like you should not have spoken to them like that, and he's fallen out. Now I said to him last night, I was like, right, listen, here you two, bang your heads together, Mr. Zabi, you've got a problem with him, tell him, slap him, do we even need to, like, physically slap him, but, you know what I mean, like, get out your problem and let's move on. And this morning, the one's driving, one sat in the back, and we're just spoken like, look, if this continues, we're just going to tell them to just stop the arrangement, because we're not driving around with a couple of pair of schoolgirls, you know what I mean. But I did say to them like last night, I said, we're going to stay here, please drive back to Kaboul where you live, go and spend a night with your families, go and get showered, go and get washed up, get a change of clothes, good meal, and we'll see you tomorrow. And because we've been on the road now like 5-6 days with them, and we're tired. Never mind those guys who are, you know, sleeping in the car and whatnot. So, but we'll see. It's all interesting. Had a nice morning this morning with all the guys with apples and stuff. So yeah, let's see what today brings. I suspect it'll be a more unexpected moment. Oh. I said, oh, we want to buy a load of tomatoes so we can do Mr. Zabi's special dish, and he walked up to me like that, and I was like, take it, they're not very good then. He was like, no, go buy some in the capitals. That's it. I thought cheap and cheerful and we'll eat anything at the moment, but nah, he was like, don't do it, get some in the capitals. Capital it is. This is absolutely a boop. We're driving now the wrong way down city centre, Kaboul. said jokingly, because I said yesterday, he said today, that's it, you can go now on your own, you can have some privacy. And I was like, hey, because like, the guys have been amazing, genuinely amazing. And you know, on that 3 days we were trekking through that mountain, every time we stopped, they'd jump out and we'd all be talking, and it was an experience we would not have had we not had the guides. So they were well worth it. But I did say to him, like, you know, feel free to not like sleep next to us, or you know, be there at the crack of dawn when we wake up. Like, we're okay to have a bit of freedom, and personally I'd like a bit of freedom because it's so busy here, and if it's not a military checkpoint, we're getting swarmed by people, we're getting looked at everywhere. Like, it is properly an intense experience here, and we're tired from it, and we are both probably getting a little bit run down from it because we're loads of driving, dead intense, so that's why I joke. But that's it, they're done. It's straight to Torkham now, so apparently it's just a straight road now for 5 hours maybe to get there, and then that's it. Benito, Afghanistan. We're going to sleep there tonight and then cross tomorrow morning because we want to do the borders in the morning. I actually said to Mum, like, we actually feel safer here than we do in some neighbourhoods back in our hometown to a German biker. I take that back slightly. We're in Jalalabad and it is the most mental driving, like I can't explain to you, millimetres each side everywhere, and people, cars and monuments and stuff. All the women, and when I say all the women, like for the 5% of the people looking at are women here, are wearing burqas and they're fully covered, without exception here. So it's quite an extremist part, which means us driving through with a big truck attracts attention, and it means everyone's staring at Marie. Like, but when I say staring, not just like have a quick look, like, oh, she's quite good looking. It's like, it's making me feel really uncomfortable. And then we've had a couple of like there was a biker that he seemed to take a bit of offence to Marie being sat by his side uncovered. He looked like, you know, hardcore Taliban guy on a motorbike, and he just looked a bit a little threatening, yeah, in my opinion. So it's the first time, and interestingly, as soon as like I felt a little like I was looking for Taliban guys. Can you believe that? I was actually looking for the Taliban guys with machine guns to be like, all right, if there's a problem, there's the next Taliban in a big car, there's the next checkpoint over there, which is really odd. But anyway, yeah, we're on our way. We're coming to the end of Jalalabad, I think now, and that sort of affected me that a little bit. I was very close to saying to Marie, who's got a hammer sat by her side, I was very close to saying, give me the hammer, and I was going to just drive with the window down with the hammer just sat on my lap, just in case. I'm not sure what in case for, but just in case like I had something to have a go at someone with, because it felt that sort of threatening. So, but Jesus God, this is, if we don't kill someone over a crash here, it's going to be an absolute miracle. Okay, we go.
Free.
What do you want me to say? You go.
We're probably in, and we've just had the story of the trip. You know, like, oh, how was it to Australia? Yeah, it was great. Yeah, you know, any good stories? Yeah, probably one. Yeah, I mean, there's a few, but this is probably the one, isn't it?
This is the one, yeah.
This is going to be one to tell the grandkids for a long time. So we're on our way from the capital, Kaboul. We go through Jalalabad, and then the next stop is at the border. I then see like a sort of a side road that goes off the main road and goes up and into like a bit of a mountainous area. And I think, right, great, if we're going to find somewhere to park, it's going to be up there. Didn't feel too safe. Yeah. I was looking for like derelict buildings to hide behind, or like natural features, and there was neither. And like, here's where the story starts. We turn up there. And just in the distance we see like a group of, for the first time ever on this trip, I said, Marie, would you mind covering up? Anyway, turned up there, jumped, and I was like, do you know what, I'm just gonna get out and sort of like diffuse straight away, dead friendly, and they introduced themselves as Pakistanis, not Afghanis. And I know there's a bit of like conflicts at the moment. And they then showed me like their phone, and it had like Pakistani militant video on, and I was like, right, okay, these guys are a bit serious. So he's like, right, there's a bike coming, we've got to go. And they sort of like relatively quickly hurried off. The bikers, met the sort of curious. Turns out the bikers were Taliban, but like young Taliban, like having a quick chat with them. Suddenly the mood drops, their faces drop as another car turns up, car full of big Taliban, big boss, all dressed in white. No, they're the top dogs. But every now and then he turned to me like, no problem, no problem. And I was like, that either means there's no problem or there's like a big problem. As the sun starts to set and it's out of the darkness comes full Taliban pickup, big Taliban flag on the front, nigh on 10 extra to the 8 that were already here or something like that. So it was like there were probably almost 20 Taliban guys and probably almost 20 machine guns all fussing around us. Drove down then the valley back the way we came and down the road a little bit and then into Taliban base, like a proper Taliban base. Like, and they're like, you can camp, they can camp there, is why they left it. So we parked in the car park, and like car park out, just, you know, the yard, just outside, like the outside perimeter, and inside is like, you know, where it all goes on. Come. I'm like, is that an order or like an invitation? Anyway, we went inside and they're like, sit. Again, not sure it was an order or an invitation. Sat down, and then all the Taliban guys were like, well, who's this? Who's here? And how many do you say there were?
20, 30, I don't know, it was a lot of them.
and bear in mind, we're now sat on a bench and there's 20 guys around us, all with guns. And the floodlights are like behind them, so they can see us, we can barely see them.
It was big time, yeah.
It was like intense.
Crazy.
One or two of them spoke like broken English, so we could just about get over. There was a bit of laughing and joking, but like, right, you can't be fully settled. And at one point we just looked at each other like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is just absolutely mental. Oh, this is getting a bit crazy. And then like,
food is ready, you go.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
so we went.
So we went and we sat down, and then we had really nice food.
Yeah.
And then after that, I want to go sleep. They're like, no, the big boss come to ask questions. And we're like, fucking hell. But eventually, like 20 minutes later, you go sleep, you stay. Tomorrow questions. So
you don't really have choice.
Yeah.